The Duke of York was interviewed by Emily Maitlis for the BBC about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. He was mostly calm, but there were 10 body language clues that revealed emotions he was trying to conceal. The Duke is one of the most notorious figures related to Jeffrey Epstein's scandal, mainly because he stayed at Epstein's house in New York. There are also witnesses that claim having seen him at Epstein's island. He accepted the interview to clear up these claims. But, just for the record, Jason Stein, his personal PR advisor, had told him not to do that interview. We can imagine why. Since the Duke of York did accept to do the interview, Stein presented his resignation. In fact, no one at Buckingham Palace wanted Prince Andrew to do it, but he did it anyway. For this analysis, I used proprietary AI software to analyze Prince Andrew's facial expressions. But before we begin, I'm sure you can help me supporting my channel. All you have to do is like this video, hit the subscribe button, and share it with anyone you know that wants to learn body language secrets. Let's begin. Throughout the video, he's sitting in pretty much the same position. In fact, in 45 minutes, he never changes his leg crossing. This is very rare and shows that he is tense and defensive. When someone is relaxed, it's normal to switch legs and posture, but this is not the case. His general attitude is to shrink both the trunk, the hands, and the neck. It's a defensive position that someone usually adopts when they feel threatened. You can mimic this posture and see for yourself that it's a very uncomfortable position and reinforces your insecurity. Now we are going to see the first questions for Maitlis, and as in most body language analysis, you have to pay attention at the reactions from those questions.
Because you stayed with him, you were a visitor, a guest on many occasions at his homes, and nothing struck you as suspicious?
Nothing.
During that whole time?
Nothing.
Just for the record, you've been on his private plane.
Yes.
You've been to stay on his private island.
Yes.
Those 2 or 3 seconds after any questions reveal the true emotions of the person, and it's usually through their facial microexpressions. Throughout the whole interview, he shows strong indicators of anxiety, even when answering simple questions. In this case, he blinks quickly and purses his lips. Those are 2 clues of an emotional response. There is an internal conflict revealed on his face every time he answers a question.
Another guest was John Brockman, the literary agent. Now, he described seeing you there getting a foot massage from a young Russian woman. Did that happen?
No.
You're absolutely sure, or you can't remember?
Absolutely sure.
His gestures are mostly restrained except when the subject of John Brockman comes up. He has all the signs of being a fake surprise. Even the timing is artificial. Then he falls into one of the strongest dissonances, saying yes with his words but saying no with his head. When asked about the meeting Epstein organized for him as guest of honor, he shows restrained anger for a moment.
You were invited to that dinner as a guest of honor.
Well, I was there, so there was a dinner. I don't think it was quite as you might put it, but yeah, okay, I was there for it.
It's extremely subtle. He realizes this and makes an emotional adjustment, changing his expression on purpose. He even tries to adjust the term meeting. With regard to having drunk and danced, among other things, with a minor in trance, he quickly fires off a series of excuses.
I'm almost, in fact, I'm convinced that I was never in trance with her. There are a number of things that are wrong with that story. One of which is that I don't know where the bar is in tramps. I don't drink. I don't think I've ever bought a drink in tramps whenever I was there.
Do you remember dancing at Tramp?
No.
I don't know where the bar is. I don't drink. I've never bought drinks at Tramps. But when you think about it, he just said, "I don't drink." He wouldn't need to say anything else. He is showing panic.
She said in a legal deposition, a legal court document in 2015, she had with you 3 times. She is not confused about this. She said the first was in London when she was trafficked to you. The second was at Epstein's mansion in New York.
These emotional changes are atypical, from seriousness to mockery to concern. Why didn't he react with the surprise of Brockman's mention? When we did a software analysis of Prince Andrew's face, we found a couple things. In most answers, he had subtle contractions of brows and forehead muscles, which tells us that he was under a lot of stress. There's also the tension of his jaw when he's trying to find the words answering the most pressing questions. There's a moment of the interview at 1340 when he's trying to describe Epstein's house like a place where there's a lot of people coming and going. The software detected 2 things. Pupils contracted as in fear, and both his breathing pattern and voice tone changed to reflect fear too. With that statement, he's trying to make it look like he couldn't possibly have known every person at Epstein's house. But his body reactions reveal the amount of stress he had at the moment. Remember that if you want to analyze photos or videos, there's a link in the description to our analysis services. Near the end of the interview, she opens with a direct sentence.
Okay.
Epstein is dead.
Yes.
The women.
Epstein's dead. He nods and laughs at the same time. Why laugh at a single direct sentence like that? He just let it slip. What a relief it is for him that Epstein is dead.
She made these claims in a US deposition. Are you saying you don't believe her? She's lying.
That's a very difficult thing to answer because I'm not in a position to know what she's trying to achieve.
There's a question. You are accused of something you supposedly did not do. If they ask you directly, is that person lying? There will be no reason not to answer directly, right? After all, you're innocent, aren't you? Looking at the entire interview, it all revolves around him being in December 2010 at Epstein's house in New York City. What was he doing there? According to him, to tell Epstein that they couldn't see each other or be seen together anymore. So that's what I don't understand. He went to New York again to meet with Epstein again, be seen with him again, in order to tell him that they couldn't see each other anymore? That doesn't make sense. There's also the issue of the picture of Prince Andrew, Virginia Roberts, and Epstein's fiancée, Ghislaine Maxwell. When asked about the photo, his answer was, "I can't say whether that picture is fake or not." The problem is that we are really not talking about the picture itself, but the fact that he was physically next to Virginia Roberts at that moment. So with that non-statement, he is in fact making a statement that at some point he was with Roberts and Maxwell at Epstein's house. Did you spot any other clues in the interview? Don't forget to share them in the comments. And to make sure you don't miss any of my body language analysis, like this video and hit that subscribe button.